And we are tracking that cold front that's bringing a few showers and thunderstorms, and behind the front tomorrow, some much lower levels of humidity, some pleasant weather to end the week. But we'll begin with the radar because we are tracking some of those showers and a few embedded thunderstorms pushing south and east. You can see them sort of speckled here from the eastern shore back through the middle peninsula. Richmond, everything slowly moving here towards the south-southeast, and some of the heaviest of the rain right now is through parts of Gloucester County. We'll zoom in, give you a closer look. Of course, here's the courthouse area, so it's mainly east of there now. Indian Road picking up that heavy rain over towards Elmington, getting ready to move into western parts of Matthews County. Got a little bit more up across the eastern shore right now from Chesconessex over towards Bluxom and Hallwood and the Oaks around Turkey Run Road and 13. So again, everything is sliding off towards the southeast. So through the rest of the evening, we'll look for a few of these showers and thunderstorms. It's not going to be this big line of storms that comes blowing through here, but there will be maybe a few heavier downpours. Notice by 9 o'clock, that front moving right through here, and those winds switching around towards the north and eventually the northwest tomorrow. So maybe a few lingering clouds along the Outer Banks of North Carolina, but through the rest of the day, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures in the mid-60s by noon, mid-70s rather by noon, upper 70s to near 80 degrees by midday and into the afternoon, and that'll be our high for the day. We'll go officially 80 degrees. Winds continue out of the north tomorrow night with mainly clear skies, and for Friday, a little bit of a northeasterly wind. Sometimes that'll throw a few more clouds our way. I think Futurecast is a little bit aggressive with our chances for any sprinkles. We'll say less than a 5% chance on Friday. Just another day with mostly sunny skies and temperatures up maybe a degree or two. But again, humidity levels still should be very comfortable as we end the week. Into the weekend, those temperatures will start to spike back up. Partly cloudy skies right now up across the peninsula. Our camera at the Virginia Air and Space Center up in Hampton, 89 degrees, humidity 53%. Dew point not quite as high as we've seen the last few days, 70%. So that's why the feels like temperature, or the heat index, is 94. Westerly winds at 9 miles per hour. And where the rain is falling, you can see those temperatures have already dropped. 74 in Tappahannock, 70 in Richmond, 75 at Tangier Island. The rest of us in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. But that front will be sliding south and eastward later tonight, giving us a few isolated thunderstorms. 71 for a low, and tomorrow mostly sunny and comfortable. 80 degrees. 67 mainly clear and cool tomorrow night. Near 60 inland. I wouldn't even be surprised if maybe a location well inland sees temperatures in the upper 50s tomorrow night into Friday morning, and then mostly sunny and 82 degrees on Friday. Saturday, temperatures up to 83 degrees with mostly sunny skies. As we get into the day on Sunday, 85. Notice those rain chances tick up just a little bit. And as those temperatures go up into next week, into the low 90s, rainfall chances still fairly low, only at around 20%.